Hola, somos el grupo de Urban Café y yo soy Álvaro.
I'm Paul.
I'm Alex.
I'm Chris.
I'm Jay.
Y hoy vamos a hablar sobre el grupo del restaurante de Urban Café.
So why did we choose Urbane Cafe? We chose Urbane because it is a local favorite of USD and each one of our members really enjoyed eating at Urbane. It's located right down the hill from USD, so it's a close distance, so a lot of USD students will go for lunch. Each of our group members shared that we were all annoyed by the fact that there was long rush hour lines, especially during lunch. And this became a problem for us because when you want to get lunch in between a passing period or in between classes, this can be an inconvenience to students. So a little bit about Urbane Cafe before we dive into our analysis. Urbane Cafe makes specialty sandwiches, salads, soups, and cookies. They have about 17 locations in Southern California, so they are a chain. What they pride themselves on is that they make fresh bread daily, and this is something that you can taste by just going to Urbane because their bread is always extremely delicious and tasty.
Our goal is very simple. It is basically to make Urbane Cafe more efficient by improving the production process. And we'll do this by using numerous things we learned throughout the year. We'll be calculating how many employees should be employed at each station during rush hours, during the peak hours of the day.
So after meeting with the two managers at Urbane Cafe, we discovered where their problem was. And we discovered that this problem was that during their lunch hours, these peak hours, they were not sure about how many employees to have at each station during those hours. So we went into the analysis, and at first we made a little chart of how their process goes. So when the order is taken, it goes through the cashier, and then from the cashier gives it to the bread, where they take the bread out of the oven, and then the bread passes it to the sandwich, where they put all the meats and different specialty items onto the sandwich. And then from there, there's the salad section, and this salad section can be either a main dish, which takes more time because it's a lot of fruits and different specialty items as well. And then also each sandwich comes with a side of salad. And after that fourth workstation, then it goes out to the customer. So this is like the original format of how it was laid out.
Okay, this is the group photo that we took. This is Mark. He's one of the managers at Urbane Cafe. Who's a very friendly guy. Was very excited to hear that we decided to do our project on Urbane. He offers a lot of very good insight into how efficient they are as a company. We didn't realize how much that their company is online. They have an online app that they use to really determine when to order produce and when to have be fully staffed and so on and so forth. And so we had a great time speaking with him, and he was happy that we were here to help.
So moving into our graphs and chart and the data that we broke down to come up with our solution. This first graph shows the original data that Urbane currently uses to staff all their stations and the amount of time it takes for each item to go through the various stations. So as you can see, they have 4 stations: a sandwich station, a salad station, a bread station, and then a cashier station. So with their current layout, they have a total capacity of 7, and the cycle time is about 5.66 minutes. And this is the bottleneck is the salad station with a cycle time of 2.5, and the original efficiency of their current breakdown right now is about 37.5%. And so now moving into our new data. So this is showing our suggestion for the way they employ or use their employees during the peak rush hour. So we suggest they increase 1 employee to both the sandwich and the salad station, giving them 2 employees each. So there will be 2 at sandwich, 2 at salad, 1 at bread, and 1 at cashier. And so all the flow times remain the same, but the capacity increased. The total capacity went up from 7 to 10, and then the cycle time went down from 5.6 to 3.4, giving us an increased new efficiency of 62.2%. So as you can see, that's a lot better than the original current layout. It's about a 25% increase in efficiency, so that's exactly what we were looking to do. And so then moving into the waiting line analysis, we broke down when Urbane sees its most customers during the lunchtime rush. So we used 15-minute blocks to show when the most amount of customers are coming into the store during lunchtime. And at Urbane, they have 12 available tables at the restaurant site for customers to use. And so over the hour, they saw 240 groups coming in, giving them a capacity per 15 minutes of 60. So here we show all of the customers that are arriving in the restaurant, the ones that are leaving, all the data that we have from our peak hours. Starting at 11:30, we have 5 groups arriving, and then the most groups arriving come at 11:45 to 12 o'clock, where there are 20. And then we're showing our cumulative arrivals, and also we found out that the groups typically take about 30 minutes to get their order and eat. And so after the 30 minutes at 12 o'clock is when we first see the groups departing. And then as you can see, the most groups in the restaurant at any time is 35, and it takes about 2 hours for all the groups to leave. As you can see, 2:15 to 2:30 is when the last groups are going to leave. And from 11:45 until 1:30 is when all of the tables in Urbane are occupied, so there will be a line to even get a table as well as a line to order your food. So this graph is just visualizing the previous slide's data, where the blue bar shows all of the groups arriving over that allotted time period, where the most groups are arriving between 11:45 and 12, and then the yellow bar is showing all of the groups departing from the restaurant, the yellow line is showing the groups in the restaurant total, and the most groups in the restaurant are from about 12 to 12:45, as you can see, and then by 2:15 to 2:30, all the groups in the restaurant are gone from the rush hour push for lunch.
So now we're going to talk about the results that we found out. So there's currently 4 employees in the original setup, 1 per station, and we figured out that during the rush hour they have a bottleneck. The bottleneck occurs at the salad station, and it's 2.5 minutes. And then looking at the problem of having a bottleneck, we decided to add employees to the work process, and we decided to add 2 employees. We decided to add 2 employees instead of only one to the bottleneck station of the salad and 1 to the sandwich, because we would think that if we only add 1 to the salad station, maybe the bottleneck would occur elsewhere, or it wouldn't really be tackled. So by making sure that we add 2 employees, we're making sure that there would be less bottleneck or no one at all. So then the solution, by adding 2 employees to the work process, we increase the capacity. Then the salad station reduces to only 2 minutes, 2 salads per minute. And then the sandwiches is 4 sandwiches per 1.25 minutes.
Implementing the solution would be very simple. We're starting out with 4 workers, and we're going to have to add 2, so it would be a total of 6. To do that, obviously, Urbane's going to have to hire 2 workers, and we have some suggestions for them. Obviously, you're going to need skilled workers. You do not want to hire workers that are slow, struggling, or do not know about sandwich making. They're going to also have to hire them during rush hour, but we can see that maybe they'll have to work other hours so they can also clean, do other stuff other than just making and being part of the process. And then some other benefits that you can see is make sure they know how to do other stations, not only making sandwiches, but also being able to deal with the bread and making salads.
So now we're going to list some of the benefits of our new solution, which was to add 2 skilled employees. And basically, just to reiterate, their original efficiency rate was 37.5%, and then after our analysis and by adding those 2 employees to the salad and sandwich station, their new efficiency will be 62.2%, which is a huge increase, and this is something that was our goal to accomplish. And we thought that this is very essential because it not only helps Urbane, but it also makes the customers happy, because Urbane is now more efficient with their employees and making sandwiches. And also the be able to get their food quicker.
Okay, so what we learned from doing this project is we were able to gain real life operations management experience. This was the project was very beneficial because we got to speak with a manager and get some insight from him, and then also stuff we learned from class. We learned, like I said earlier, about when to reorder produce and when to not in order to maximize our costs. We learned that Urbane is a very online company. The manager himself can check inventory and rush hour times from his home through his phone. And also through this, we're able to learn how to maximize overall efficiency. So that way, hungry customers like ourselves aren't waiting for long periods of time and are able to get the food that we want as quickly and as efficiently as possible.
In conclusion, we'd like to say that we were very happy and very successful in working with Urbane. We know they're a successful company as we all go multiple times throughout the year. But what we learned very quickly was that although they're successful, there's always room to get better and increase production. Our goal was to make the whole process more efficient, which we believe we successfully did. And we'd like to see them implemented in the future. And thank you.
Thank you for watching our presentation on Urbane. Bye.
Woo! Gracias, amigo. I need your password.
PK.
So we're at 12 minutes.
PK.
That's good.
That's fine.